Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kai, and welcome back to Warframe. Today we will be taking a look at Garuda Prime. Garuda Prime is my second most played frame in the entire game, right behind Equinox, and there's a very good reason for that. She is so incredibly strong. So let's go hop into the sim, and I can show you why she dominates every single piece of content in the entire game. Alright, so now that we are here in the sim, let's go take a peek at Garuda and just look at her abilities. So, starting off, the first thing you might notice is that I have subsumed off Garuda's second ability, Blood Alter, for Gloom. This is a very common thing in the Warframe community, this build. It's called Gloom Ruda, as you might have heard it in other places. The original issue with Garuda's, let me just swap so I can show you the ability, with Garuda's other second ability, Blood Alter, is that while it does promote the synergy between bloodletting and alter, it is stationary and it doesn't do a couple of the things that Gloom does just plain better than blood alter. So any Garuda build that you see, Gloom is probably the most common one to be used. But looking at the rest of her abilities, all of these other ones are very good. So starting off with Dread Mirror, you have a very long casting range here, and you go up to a target, you kind of stab them a little bit, and you get this mirror in front of you that will take any damage that is put into it, and you know the mirror just takes the damage. You don't take any of the damage. So any targets you're looking at that are shooting you, all of their bullets go into the mirror and, you know, don't damage you. You're also invulnerable while casting this, which is great because you can spam it like a lot. It also has it has two very cool mechanics. If an enemy is under 40% health and you use Dread Mirror on them, you will insta-kill them. Also, any damage that the mirror takes itself, if you then hold down the casting button, you will start charging up this little like blood projectile. If you see and look at the stats here, you'll see that the damage capture multiplier. So damage capture multiplier, it'll take damage, it'll multiply it by 5.16 and then put it into this little blood orb above your mirror. You hold down, you start draining energy very fast because, you know, it's a little bit of a negative efficiency build for reasons that you'll see later. And you get a huge AoE nuke. It's 17.5 meters, is absolutely phenomenal. You can charge it up into the tens of millions if you take a lot of damage and they still pass. So this is great. Third ability, Bloodletting. This is phenomenal. It means that Garuda, whenever you press this, you clear any status effects on you, which is already great, and you sacrifice health to gain energy. You drain 50% health and you get 25% of your energy back. Now, this is a negative efficiency build, as you'll see here, because you can spam the hell out of this. And then you'll see that I have the Augment Bloodforge, which we'll go over later. But you just spam this, and then you get 25% of whatever your current energy back. And with 680, that's like 180 energy. Fourth ability, Seeking Talons. This one is a little hard to explain, so just look at the tooltip there. Basically, a big ring will appear on your screen that you charge up, and then you send talons towards every enemy in that big ring. It's only in the ring. It does not do an AoE unless you have the augment, but the augment is kind of bad. But regardless, this ability is great because every enemy you hit it with gets a bleed proc and a slash proc. Now, every single time you damage them, any damage you do will also give another slash proc. So this ability is great with things like Breach Surge, because it just turns Breach Surge into an absolute nuke that can hit the damage cap super easily. But this ability is great because it just kills things. So let's go take a look at the actual Garuda build. Alright, plain and simple here. It is really easy to build Garuda because you don't need any efficiency mods, because even though, you know, it costs 155 energy to cast Seeking Talons, Bloodletting gives 25% of your energy back. And if you use a Primed Flow or Archon Flow, mine is not even maxed, so you can have up to like 800 something energy here. I cast this, and then if I have 800 energy, I get 200 energy back just for this really, really quick cast. And then this synergizes very well with the Gloom because, you know, oh, I lost 50% of my health. I only have 300 health. Let me shoot one enemy and I get all my health back. So the synergy here is nuts. Garuda has such a refined playstyle. The design here is phenomenal. I'll give that to DE. It's great. But, and then the rest of these abilities just help with the killing. But seriously, Garuda would be an S tier frame just with these two abilities combined. And then subsuming Blood Altar off for Gloom just makes it a lot better. Because yes, you can get a lot of health from the Blood Altars, but you're stationary, you don't get enemy slow, and you don't get the lifesteal. You have to be in the aura of the Blood Altar. So these synergize phenomenally well. But let's look at the actual build. Here in the aura, I have Steel Charge. What I would recommend to you is that you actually use Combat Discipline. I just don't want to form this again because I need to form another slot to use this build here specifically. You use Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger. I use Combat and Arcane Avenger on practically every build that has some sort of heal on demand, especially with Gloom, because you damage something. With Gloom, you get lifesteal. Oh, but you lose 10 health. That's nothing, because Gloom can refill your entire health with a single shot from your primary, and then Combat Discipline synergizes with Energize, what am I talking about? Avenger, to give you plus 45 crit chance, which is just great. And then here I have Arcane Strike because it just gives you melee attack speed. If this was maxed out, you get plus 60 melee attack speed. It's nice. There are other melee arcanes you can use, like Blade Chargers are great. 300% melee damage is nice just for that base. Bodyguard sucks. Fury you can use, but it's less melee damage than Blade Charger, just to get a single easy primary kill. So Blade Charger or Strike, you make your choice. But Avenger's really good on here. You don't need Energize or anything, because again, you have energy on demand. But the rest of the build, we build for nice range, because we want a big radius on our Gloom. We build for pretty high strength. 258 gives us a 98% slow. 98. I can't read today, guys. Gives us a 90% slow, which is perfectly fine. We would have to bump up our strength, like, with another mod. I think I could actually hit it if I dropped Bloodforge for Augur's Secrets. Yeah, we could hit 95%, but that 5% is not making a difference. So this is what I go with. And then Archon Flow, or Prime Flow, is kind of necessary here, because when your efficiency is so low, the higher your energy cap is, the more energy you get back from Bloodletting. I have a maxed out Blind Rage, so I'm at 45%. So when I cast this, I get 25% of whatever my current energy is. So this is necessary. You can use normal flow. I don't recommend it. Really try to get Archon or Prime Flow. They're very useful. Now, some variations that can come with this build. There are a couple of them. Augments. There are two augments that I have for Garuda, because I don't think the third one for her Seeking Talons is that great. There's Dread Ward. When you kill an enemy with your Dread Mirror, because if an enemy is under 40% health, it insta-kills, you become unkillable for 8 seconds. This does not mean you become invulnerable. It just means that you can go down to 2% health, but you cannot die. It's alright, but this, you don't really need to become unkillable, because you're invulnerable while casting this. You're invulnerable while casting this. Gloom, if you're damaging things, you will never die. So it's really not that necessary. And then the invulnerability with these two, paired with Rolling Guard, means that even after you cast Bloodletting and you're really low on health, your shields will recharge and you'll get a tiny shield gate. And then if you're about to die, just cast Seeking Talons. You're invulnerable for the entire time. The augment that I think is Garuda's best augment is Bloodforge. This augment, you cast your Bloodletting, and you just reload your equipped weapon entirely. This is great because this is a very energy-hungry build, but we have energy on demand, so we're casting Bloodletting a lot. You just have infinite ammo. Well, not infinite ammo, but you have infinite magazine with Bloodforge if you use it correctly. That means that this frame, Garuda, is really, really good for low magazine, high damage AoE weapons, because even though I'm not using primed sure-footed here, Dread Mirror protects you from Stealth Stagger. Stealth stagger. I can't speak today. What's going on? Self stagger. So you could shoot a Tsar at your feet, and your Dread Mirror will block it. So this is great because you can use it with weapons like the Brahma, the Tenet Envoy, the Tsar, Tetra. It's really, really good. But you don't need to use this. There are a couple other things that you could use. You could put more duration in here. You could put more strength in for that max Gloom slow. Do you want more range? Well, Cunning Drift, like this is kind of your flex slot because you don't need to necessarily use that, and there are lots of mods that you could use. The one that I would suggest the most, though, if you're not using an augment, is Natural Talent. Seeking Talents has a very long cast time. It is kind of annoying just to be sitting there and not getting that damage out. So what I recommend over any other mod, if you're not using an augment, is Natural Talent. You'll see I'm not using Natural Talent because I have 2 Amber Archons for casting speed. The rest of these I would put more strength in, because then plus 30 strength here you could hit max Gloom cap without needing any other mods. But Natural Talent is probably the best mod you could put here. I could recommend even using this with these 2, because the casting speed on her 4th becomes really quick. Like, really, really quick. But I'm going to be using the Bloodforge augment because it is just such a nice quality of life. I've got some Corrupted Heavy Gunners spawned now, so let's just go over and I'll demonstrate the little ins and outs of this. So you'll see, when I cast my first ability, it's vulnerable for that cast time, and it knocks the enemy down. Now, what I like to do when I start a mission, normally you're not going to have a max energy, so you can, I'm just going to pop Gloom to get my health back, is I like to double cast Bloodletting, get us to max energy, pop Gloom, and then, you know, I'm 2 health right now, but then I just one shot, I'm back up to max health. Alright, now I want to cast this, get all these enemies weak, recast this, and then, you know, the Archoplasma takes a little bit to build up, but once it does, you'll just start absolutely demolishing enemies. I need to reload, cast this. It's great. Now you'll see floating above me is that little blood orb, 42.5 thousand. Let me unpause the AI and show you what you can do with that. So I'll pop Dread Mirror. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that the enemies literally cannot do anything because they're all super, super slowed by Gloom. But I didn't even take Stagger there because the Dread Mirror protects you from all angles that you're looking at. Not behind you, of course, but like, this is great. I can slow them even more, actually, if I do this. The animation that they take from this is crazy. They can't do anything. This whole, and then I can just come over here and I can start meleeing them up. Get a prime on them. You get the point. But I want to show you what this Dread Mirror nuke can look like, because it's really, really, really good. So I'm not even going to keep Gloom up. I'm going to get this, pop Dread Mirror, come over here, and just let them shoot at this for a little bit, if they want to. They don't really seem to want to shoot at me, but we're at. Alright, well, we'll go with 225,000. At maximum energy, with just 200k, you hop up in the air, you start casting. Look at how fast that builds. And it scales off of how much you have. So if you had 1 million, you would, I mean, whoa. I just killed all of them. I need energy now. Let me cast Gloom so I can do this. Oh, get all my health back. Pop this twice, get all my health back. Pop another Dread Mirror. Can't even do anything. The Blood Bomb off of Dread Mirror sometimes won't be that useful because, you know, it's hard to charge it up. Because enemies don't even really shoot at you. But if they did, max energy, even though I'm 2 health, Mirror protects me. Oop. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, there is one more thing, a part of Garuda's kit, that is really, really, really good. You'll see I don't have a melee weapon equipped here. If I equip a melee weapon, you know, just like the Guandao, you'll see that her talons disappeared. to get her talons, you must unequip a melee weapon, and then boom, they appear. Garuda Prime Talons. Garuda's talons are not an exalted weapon because they don't have an ability associated with them. They might as well be, though, because they're really, really damn good. So, let's look at the talons here. I have 2 builds for you. One of them, right here, this is just a using guns alongside when enemies get close, or at like a high health enemy, you just prime them real quick and you slash them up. We have Condition Overload, because we have Slash Viral here, and then we have, what mods do I have on my epitaph? I think I have Corrosive, Heat, and Blast. So that's like 5 status effects, which gives us way, way, way more damage than Prime Pressure Point. Sacrificial Steel for that crit chance, mine isn't even maxed out, but over 100 crit chance is nice, and then ×2 for heavy attacks, because there are some really, really good heavy attack builds with Garuda Prime Talons. Virulent Scourge and Vicious Frost for that viral, it's just nice. Organ Shatter and Gladiator Might for the crit damage, 5.0 crit multiplier. Berserker Fury, and then I have Blood Rush on here, just because it's nice for the extra crit chance, but you can use a lot of different things on here. You can use something like Prime Pressure Point, just for that base damage. That works. You can use Corrupt Charge for initial combo if you want to do a heavy attack build paired with Killing Blow. You can do Heat, so you can get Slash Viral Heat. If I didn't already have that on my epitaph, that'd be nice. You can put a Smite mod in here. Those are great if you're doing really high level cap things. I don't do those. They don't interest me. But there are a lot of things you can use here. Blood Rush, Pressure Point. I might even stick with Pressure Point just for the base damage, just in case an enemy gets close and you want to slash them up. Second build, though. This is if you're doing a Garuda melee only build, which if you were to do like a mainly Talons build, you can drop the Bloodforge augment and then again use any of these other things. But on the Talons here, we have Condition Overload again, because we're going to be priming enemies. Blood Rush, Weeping Moons. These, at max rank, this stacks up to like 440% crit chance, which is a lot better than Sacrificial Steel's 220%. So that is what we, want to use over that if we're mainly using our melee. And then we get Status Chance with Weeping Moons. These Acolyte mods are great. They can actually go on these Talons because they're not, in quotes, an exalted weapon. But the rest of the build is pretty much the same. Crit damage, and then I actually use Corrosive on here because we want the raw damage. And then Berserker Fury, and yeah, for her attack speed. So that's the Talons build. This is the Garuda build. I'm going to go into the Steel Path and show you why she's so strong. So let me go hop over there. Alright, so there are a couple things that I missed that I just want to go over. But real quick, Garuda has a second passive other than her Talons being her melee if she doesn't have a melee weapon equipped. Every time you kill an enemy, you build up a little meter. That meter, at a max, gives you plus 100% damage. This is literally just additive damage. It's great because it's just like extra damage as a passive is like not bad, and this passive also coupled with the fact that it gives you Garuda's Talons makes it one of the better passives in the game. But just wanted to let you know that that is there if you were confused earlier in the video. I also 100% recommend Naramon. See, you don't need any of the, say hi to my operator, but you don't need any of these other schools. Matarai you can make a case for, but not really necessary. Naramon is the best because the Talons are really, really good with Power Spike. So, I recommend using those. You don't need, where is it? Zeneric for the energy gain, because we've already gone over it. Bloodforge is really good. But anyways, yes, that is all. So, let me show you that Steel Path gameplay. Heal and Mott on the Steel Path. This is my lovely, lovely typical testing place. So, let's get this started from here. Alright, I'm going to double cast Bloodletting. Get pretty much max energy. Now we pop Gloom. First enemy we see. Again, and now I can cast my 2. Get my mirror. Reload. And just kind of, continue to just absolutely decimate everything. If I want to use my melee a little bit, I can. Best to use that with a primer, though. I mean, I'm not even taking any any amount of damage here. I can even double cast this. You're invulnerable for so much of your time here that it's like, it's nuts. This frame sustains herself so well, and using a high base damage primary like the Archoplasmor is great for just chunking things down. I mean, I'm barely even trying here. Like, here, let me see how many can I hit here? Oh, I can hit every single one of them. You can actually, this is funny. You can sustain yourself off of just this because Gloom will give you your health back with this, and then you pop Bloodletting, and you can just keep spamming this.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area.
I mean, is this really even playing the game? You can AFK by just setting up a macro to do this. Press 1, then 2. 1, then 2. So funny. The Dread Mirror isn't even really necessary because Gloom just makes this, like, I mean, you could throw Gloom on any frame and do this, but the energy drains are so crazy that if it's not a frame that is built for high efficiency and duration, you're going to struggle. But, you know, Garuda doesn't need efficiency because she just has energy on demand. Alright, so we've got an Acolyte spawning. I just waited until we got one in. It is Misery. And Vor's here as well. But Gloom slows the Acolyte, so then I just get some status on him. And then... oh, wow. Kinda just instantly nuked that guy. Oh no, I got knocked down. Because I let my Dread Mirror run out. Not even a big deal because of this. Oh, I'm so low on energy. Let me just double cast this. And I can cast this. Boom, one shot, cast again, one shot, cast again. Wow, this is a lot of enemies. Oh, hey, Vor. Let me just prime you real quick. Ching, 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 ching. And done. Kinda busted, right? Literally about to run out of life support because I killed enemies so quickly. So let me get out of here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll keep talking over here, over Vor's speech. But yeah, it means a lot, the support that I've been getting lately. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.